I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music. Today, 2010. This is a 2010, right?
Yeah.
I think it is. The Gaslight Anthem, American Slang. It's, they're a band. They're getting some press right now. I think this is what, their second album, third album, something like that. But yeah, this is a band. They're on the radio. They sound a lot like the Goo Goo Dolls, Counting Crows, Gin Blossoms. I really think they sound like Gin Blossoms. And then who else?
I could see that. I could see a little Titus Andronicus, and you can tell that they are hugely influenced by Bruce Springsteen.
Man, Bruce Springsteen is all over this. They even played a show with Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Makes sense.
I have an interview down there to show. There's a couple of guys from the band talking, including the singer, and they're talking about kind of their experiences and how they're really cool guys and really mature and professional about what they're doing, and I really appreciate that. It fits with their message about this album, which is just it's the new American dream.
Yeah.
Is to kind of grow up and just realize that you have to go to work and work hard and just be part of this kind of working class culture, and that's okay, and it's fun and it's a good life. That's kind of their message, and this album does that and presents you that message in 10 tracks, and the album's only about 33 minutes long. I am going to come right out and say I like this album less and less and less with each listen. Never, ever a good thing for any music listener to like the album that they're listening to less each time they hear it. Definitely not getting your money's worth out of it. The reason why I didn't like it is because I really felt like a lot of this, was very, each song sounded almost exactly the same as the previous song. And you might disagree with me, and that's fine, but I felt like what killed it for me was the structures. Justin Bieber, we just did Bieber a couple episodes ago. He did the same damn thing in his structures. So if you're going to do this, you might as well sink down to his level and get some real teeny bopper fans, because there's just tons of them. And they tweet and talk all the time and tell. But, the verse, chorus thing gets really bland. But the problem is that it's the same thing. It's just guitar and rhythm guitar in Bruce Springsteen-esque style, and just poppy, verse, chorus, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. I think that's why they kept the album short, and I just, the first song, American Slang, probably one of my favorites on the album, but I just, and I like it because it's the first one.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I just hear all these songs fall in line and sound exactly the same as that song, or very similar, then I'm just bored. Now, the exception to this is the closer, which they did change it up. They tried to do some more atmospheric, introspective, and personal sounds to it, and I really like that. And so that one's definitely a track pick of mine. But Tom, what do you think? You had some good insights.
I agree with most what you had to say. I really do. There are a few more particular things that I want to point out about this album. Some of the tricks that they're doing. One little method that they use a lot with the guitars is they've got this rhythm guitar foundation of the song that's just kind of chugging out maybe 3 to 4 different power chords in a certain progression, and then on top of that they've got these lead guitar lines, and this bands do this a lot, and it's not a bad thing, but then again these guys do it to a point where you really notice it, where as the chords change for the rhythm guitar, the lead guitar line will stay the same. So it just kind of creates, one's changing, one's not, but it makes the overall mood change. But they do that almost every song. So you got and then once that chord changes, you got the guitar line that's doing the same thing.
It's a gimmick that gets really old. Really
quick. And it works every now and then to kind of create a shift in mood, because it makes you interpret the lead guitar line that's staying the same differently, even though it's not changing. Right. And that's something that you might not pick up on, but really go back and listen to this, and you'll hear that in a lot of these songs. And like I said, once they start doing it over and over again, it's kind of
you lose interest.
Yeah, you really do. I'll give them this. They're good at presenting their, as you said, the message of the album, what they were going for, the points that they were trying to make. They're good at presenting that, because really this sound, this style of music has always kind of represented that working class, and you get a lot of that, the kind of growing up, going to work, having a job, being responsible, but still remembering how you came up, what makes you you. A lot of those little things become important topics for this band, and so in that way it's it's like this kind of forced nostalgia trip almost, on like a past that hasn't quite happened as you go into the future. it's almost like they want you to step into your future self and look at where you are now.
And another thing that bothered me about that, though, is that it's kind of not an original concept. There's a lot of stuff out there that sounds like this. It's clearly been done before with The Boss, and you know, even though I've never been really into that style, I just find it to be unoriginal. I just find it like this is not a new idea. It's just rehashing old things. It's still decent. I'm definitely gonna say that like this is decent. I probably won't recommend this, but you know, it's decent. It's a decent listen. I just didn't really catch me.
I'll say this too. While none of these songs really blow me away, and they do kind of dilute each other because they sound a lot alike, I also don't think there's a particularly terrible song on this album. I think they're all good, but it's almost because they played it so safe.
Yeah.
Because they weren't willing to take risks, and I would rather see them take risks, have some of those risks be really rewarding, and some of them fall flat on their face.
You're quoting this, right?
Really?
Here. Yeah, verbatim. We think exactly the same thing.
All right.
Yeah, these guys have loads of potential. This is a decent play. It's just they're playing it way too safe.
Yeah.
Yep. My 2 tracks, I picked 2. Track 5, The Queen of Lower Chelsea, and track 10, We Did It When We Were Young.
I picked, those were 2 of my picks also.
Nice.
The only other one I'll add is track 6, Orphans.
Yeah.
I really like that song.
Yeah. So
Other than that, yeah, kind of.
what would you give it, Tom?
You know, I think I'm going to give this a 66.
66?
I enjoyed it. I enjoy listening to it. Probably won't come back to it a lot. I think there's more good things than bad, but man, do those few bad things, they're really big ones.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I'd probably go a similar score. It's just that the unoriginality thing really bothers me. It's not a word.
I know that's a bigger issue for you.
It really is. I don't like music that doesn't sound original, and so I'm gonna go 57 on this. I'd still, you know, I probably wouldn't recommend it because there's tons of stuff out there. You've probably already heard most of this, but if you like this and listen to it, you'll probably like it. What do you think? Do you like the Gaslight Anthem? They have a pretty good following.
Yeah.
You know, if you like them and disagree with us, tell us why. And do it at www.velocitiesmusic.com. But other than that, that kind of wraps up American Slang. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.